Hi, thank you for joining us on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona. And hopefully today with our picks and your picks, it's going to be another profitable day for you. NFL Week 14, Monday Night Football. We have a twofer tonight. Titans, Dolphins, Packers, Giants. And so I guess the games have been a little suspect in prime time. So let's have two of them just to make sure we get one good one out of the bunch, I guess. First game up we'll get into is Titans, Dolphins in Miami, 13.5, 14-point favorite, depending on where you're looking. 40, 45, 46, 47 total, somewhere in that mix for all the fun going on there. Pretty tight total for the amount of spread, so obviously not expecting a ton of points out of the Titans tonight, probably around 15 to 16 points is what they're expecting there. So 30 to 16 game kind of, or 31-15 kind of puts it there at that 46 total. Let's be honest here. The Titans have had a disappointing season for them. I think they didn't anticipate probably paying Levis this season, but they have. He started off with a bang, 4 touchdowns, and then it's been pretty downhill since then. Not that it's been absolutely horrid, but just the play calling for them is not what I would call great. I mean, you got to give them chances to make plays, and I just think the way they call that offense doesn't give them a lot of opportunities. Now, on the other hand, the Dolphins have been fantastic offensively, especially at home. They most speed in the NFL. Mostert, A-Chain, Waddle, Hill. It's just they come at you in waves, and they tend to get big plays just due to the speed. A lot of times, you see the bombs to Hill, but a lot of times you're going to see a 10-yard a 10-yard cross, all of a sudden now is 60 yards down the field just because that speed is so devastating. So do the Titans have a chance to win? Sure. Is it a big chance? There's not a lot of path to victory here for the Titans. Number one, the first path to victory is run the hell out of the ball, possess the ball for 40 minutes, keep that Miami offense off the field, get some turnovers, and maybe, who the hell knows, pull off an upset on Monday Night Football. Most path to victories here are definitely going to be for the Dolphins, and that's why you see the 14-point spread. Now, covering that 14 is a different story. 2 touchdowns is a lot. Like the number a lot better if I was going to play it at 13.5. Still not going to play it at 14. If it go to 14 and the hook, though, definitely have to consider playing the Titans here, as it gets tough to cover that many points. Because a lot of times what happens is we're up 4 touchdowns going into the fourth quarter. Now we'll just sit everybody. Next thing you know, 2 back doors for 14, makes it 14 points. So a lot of weird things can happen. That's why it is the NFL, not for long. This is the hardest sport to bet, period. College football, much easier. Baseball, extremely, it doesn't even compare. Baseball is much easier to bet, as well as basketball. I mean, the NFL is the hardest sport to bet, but it is the sport that is bet the most out of the others, probably all combined. So, it can be a little tough. But this game here, I mean, we kind of think the Dolphins are going to score their 31 points, and we think the Titans are going to score like 16 to 18 points. So it's going to be real close to the number, I think, at that number, and then just maybe barely eclipse the over on that. But that's kind of why we see this one going here. I don't see the Dolphins putting up 70 or anything crazy in this one. So we will get into the plays that we've got for this game. So we do like Jalen Waddle quite a bit here. And the reason, a couple different reasons is, as Tua's seen more than a majority of the target share, I just think maybe they figure out maybe a little bit something with him tonight on how to bracket him properly. Like I think we talked, like with Hill, it's almost, you have to do it backwards. So in most of your offenses, it's going to be corner up, safety back when you're double covering somebody. With Hill, just due to his speed, you almost need to play safety up and cornerback, somebody that can keep up the speed, or have an extremely speedy safety, which there's not maybe a ton of those guys out there that can keep up with 4-3 guy, on that one, but maybe a corner behind, safety up front. Now, you will give up some plays in front of you, but that's the only way to really beat this Dolphins team, is make them go drive down the field, get 10 play drives instead of these 3 or 4 plays where it's a couple dunks and then all of a sudden a big dart down the field. So, like I said, we do like Waddle tonight. Over 4.5 receptions for Waddle. That was our best bet. Over 66.5 receiving yards and an anytime touchdown. We like Mostert to get over 45.5 rush yards. I think he can get 50 and still maybe not have like huge fantasy numbers, but 50 to 60 is definitely in his wheelhouse, even with sharing their carries with the chain. I just think they want to run the ball a little bit more. This offense clicks even better when they run the ball really well rather than they just throw it every time. We also like the Dolphins over 16.5 team total first half, the highest we've seen so far this season. Dolphins over 30.5 team total for the game. Titans over the 15.5 team total. I don't know if they're going to get any early, but I do expect it late. We're not playing the first half team total with the Titans just because we think a lot of this is going to be garbage time points. Will Levis an interception. Will Levis over 31.5 pass attempts. Tua over 22.5 completions and over 32.5 pass attempts. Tyjae Spears with the Titans over 13.5 receiving yards. I just think with that pass rush, he's going to have to dunk the ball down pretty quick, and Tyjae's a great option. Christian Wilkins, big part of that pass rush for the Dolphins, over a quarter of a sack, and total turnovers in this game over 2.5. So Tua's been good for a pick lately, and we think Levis will be as well. So there's two. We just need either another pick from one of them or a fumble, and we're going to get to that over 2.5. So one more time that plays in this, how about Dolphins-Titans game. Jalen Waddle over 4.5 receptions. Jalen Waddle over 66.5 receiving yards. Jalen Waddle anytime touchdown. Mostert over 45.5 rush yards. Dolphins over 16.5 team total first half. Dolphins over 30.5 team total for the game. Titans over 15.5 team total for the game as well. Will Levis interception. Will Levis over 31.5 pass attempts. Tua over 22.5 completions and over 32.5 pass attempts. Tyjae Spears over 13.5 receiving yards for the Titans. Christian Wilkins over a quarter of a sack. Total turnovers over 2.5. Next game up is going to be Packers-Giants. Packers get a big win against the Chiefs last week on Sunday Night Football with a PI call that should have been called, but nevertheless wasn't. Nice little home field advantage with having the refs there as well. Giants have played ever since Daniel Jones went down and Tommy DeVito came in, and I guess after both quarterbacks went down, Tommy DeVito has made the Giants play inspired football. It's been pretty crazy. I didn't expect anything like this. Expected DeVito to fall on his face. He's thrown for a couple hundred yards in most of these games. He's even thrown for a few touchdowns. He's got Barkley heavily involved, which the Giants need to succeed. And this defense has played really well. They've held some teams. They held Buffalo to hardly nothing. They've played well. They had, coming off the bye, a little bit more rest. Maybe getting a little bit fancier with the offensive game plan. But it was 6.5. It's back down to 6 today. We did get the Giants at 6.5, but we really like the Giants home dog Monday night. And also the book has heavily invested on the Packers. The Packers money is outstanding. So we're riding with the book as well with this one. So Giants plus 1.5 first quarter, plus 3.5 first half, plus 6.5 for the game. Giants over the 14.5 team total. Giants over 6.5 team total first half, one of our best bets. Tommy DeVito also up there for us as well, over 174.5 passing yards. Tommy DeVito to throw a passing touchdown. Tommy DeVito over 31.5 yards, longest reception. We think that one's actually going to Jalen Hyatt over 25.5 receiving yards. I couldn't believe Hyatt was still at 25.5, so we definitely wanted to hop on that one. Saquon Barkley, we like him in a few different props here. So we're going to take over 15.5 rush attempts, over 67.5 rush yards, and over 18.5 receiving yards. If he run for 80 and catch for 20, sounds like a good night for Saquon for the Giants. And then for the Packers, since that defense has played so well for the Giants, we're actually going to take under 10.5 team total first half, and Packers under 21.5 team total for the game. Just the Giants have been able to keep things close, even if they haven't won. 6 is quite a bit. It's a different story, I think, when the Packers, they're on a little bit of a heater right now, but they've been dogs. Now, all of a sudden, you're expected to win. What changes? It happens a lot. You get teams in basketball, for example. I'll give you a prime example. The Pacers, for a lot of the Magic, have been dogs for a lot, and then all of a sudden they're favored by 10 or 12 because they railed off 6 or 7 wins in a row. Next thing you know, they stumble a little bit, maybe being that big of a favorite. It's just a little bit different role when you're the hunted rather than hunter, so to speak. So it's not that Jordan Love hasn't played well. He has, but they're down Aaron Jones, it sounds like, again. Christian Watson's out. A.J. Dillon, lots of injuries all the way around. Eventually, that stuff does catch up with you. I'm not saying Jordan Love can't throw for 250 and a couple touchdowns tonight, definitely a possibility for them. I just don't think they're going to run away with this game, and they're going to score 27 points. That's the only way I think they really beat the Giants, if they really can get the score up into the mid to high 20s. I just don't think they're going to score that many points. If they score 17 tonight, it's kind of about what we expect. And then the Giants, I think, can score 14 to 20 from there. So on that one. So anyway, we'll get back to those plays in that Giants-Packers game for you one more time. Giants plus 1.5 first quarter, plus 3.5 first half, plus 6.5 for the game. Giants over 14.5 team total, and over 6.5 team total in the first half. Tommy DeVito over 174.5 passing yards. DeVito to throw a passing touchdown. DeVito over 31.5 yards longest completion. Jalen Hyatt over 25.5 receiving yards. Then we go to Barkley. Barkley over 15.5 rush attempts, over 67.5 rush yards, over 18.5 receiving yards. And then we're going to play under on the Packers scoring. So under 10.5 team total first half for the Packers, and under 21.5 team total for the game. At the end of this episode, in the comments section, you will see a link to our Google Sheets. It will say like docs.google.spreadsheet. That's basically, that has a link that will give you a list of, or our ledger of all of our bets, what juice we got those at, how many units we placed, and then what book we placed those at. So make sure you do check that out. You can check out just this week, tonight, the whole season. Also, if you're into basketball, that's also going on, 23-24. You can also see football of 22, 23, and baseball of 23, if you wanted to search through those results as well. We had a monster season in baseball. Basketball is 1,200 units. Football, we're up a couple thousand units for the season so far. Like I mentioned kind of earlier in this, the NFL is the hardest sport to handicap and to make money on. No question about it. But it is the most heavily bet sport, and it's not even close. But we consistently make money, and we'll just kind of go, that's what we can do. This is not a short term, I'm going to bet all the money on one play, and then we sit for the rest of the season. We make consistent plays every day, every week, in order to lay out the blueprint for you to make some money. So make sure you check out those Google Sheets when you get some time. And if anything else as well, a lot of times these come out multiple hours ahead of game time. There might be something that comes up and we might need to lay an extra wager. You can just go back and look at the Google Sheet and you'll be able to see it there too as well. And as always, if you could subscribe and get notifications to our YouTube channel, so when we drop our bets, you get those first. Especially when you subscribe and get those notifications turned on, you get a notification sent to your phone or device, let you know Sports Bets for Free has dropped some new bets, and give you plenty of time to match them up with your bets and give you that ton of confidence you need heading into the betting app or betting window. I do appreciate everybody's support as always, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.